Okay, so you've scanned your QR code on your Gatemaker healing dummy, and this is a short video on how to use this tool properly. If we don't use a tool properly, we're not getting much good out of it, okay? I don't think there's ever going to be a dummy that bridges the gap between roping it on the ground, healing it on the ground, and getting on your horse, but I think this dummy kind of crosses over a little bit a few of those things that I see people struggle with the most that are trying to figure out how to rope this so it benefits them when they get on their horse, okay? So we're gonna talk about this in order of importance, okay? And we're gonna roll through the process. Target, position, swing, delivery, dally. Dally we're probably gonna skip because we're not dallying here. The first thing's target. Okay, when you rope something, you have to have something to look at. That's what you're gonna get your position and your swing and your timing and your delivery off of, something to look at. When I'm roping slower, older cattle that drag and trot, I'm gonna focus more on my top strand and placing the top strand to the hock, okay? If I'm gonna concentrate more on faster, fresher cattle or competition like at my level, I'm gonna focus more on the bottom. So therefore the sight goes lower and I focus on the bottom. I think for the most part for beginner ropers or lower numbered ropers, there's too much emphasis out there on the bottom, okay? And I'll explain why here in a little bit. So that's target. Position is one of the main things that I like about this dummy. We've made our dummy a little bit longer from the post to the feet, so that you can actually stand in the position that you want to stand in on the horse. Even though the angles are different, you can stand in the position you want to stand on your horse, and you get to extend forward and down and come across, okay? As to where if that post is shorter, if you want to stand where you want, you're always retracting. Okay, so we get a good swing here. We get a good position. We get a good feel for where we want to be when we rope the dummy. We want to be over steers, roping them going away, not behind steers, chasing them and roping them coming to them, okay? And this dummy allows you to do that, okay? The next thing is swing. You can see I've got this heavy-duty zip tie stuck up here about 5-6 inches above the dummy. This allows me to get my hand high and my tip low like I have to be on my horse. I see too many people rope the ground dummy and they swing behind the dummy like this because they think it's helping them get their tip down. Well, look where my hand is. Look where my rope's coming through at. I can't swing here on my horse. So this is a terrible habit to get into. And then even if this works, when I get on my horse and I can't swing there, that's going to feel different than what this is. So we get comfortable doing this, we get on the horse, and that's uncomfortable. So everything we're doing here, we're trying to make ourselves comfortable and more transition-like to get on the horse, okay? So the zip tie is made for you to stand in position. Your hand has to be high. Your tip has to be low, just like on your horse, and you don't want to hit that zip tie. You want to keep your hand high enough and the tip low enough that you're over that zip tie. And that's representing how you need to swing your rope on your horse, okay? So we got target swing, we got target position swing. The next thing is delivery, and we kind of went over that a little bit already. I want to be able to get on my horse, and I'm gonna be higher up and away from the dummy. And I want to be able, when I get on my horse, to come forward with my delivery and extend down. So I don't just want to concentrate on down. I also want to concentrate on forward because I need the rope to go forward and through, okay? It's the extension of your arm. It's the extension of your arm and coming forward that brings the tip through and puts the bottom on the ground. We're placing our loop, okay? I think people concentrate a little bit too much on the bottom strand to start with, and we end up slamming that rope down instead of learning how to place it, okay? And so that's what I think this dummy really does well, is it allows me to come forward and learn how to place the rope and get the correct release point instead of trying to drive the rope down all the time. If you're roping your ground dummy and you're standing this close and you're standing in position, but that post is too short up there and you're always coming back, having to come backwards to deliver, that is not gonna work on your horse, okay? It looks good here, but that's not gonna work on your horse. We need to be working on things here that transition from here to the horse, okay? Other features about the Gatemaker, it's a little bit lighter. It only weighs 40 pounds and it's easy to pack around and easy to deal with, okay? Your Gatemaker should have come equipped with a zip tie. You'll have to cut it off about 5-6 inches high, depending on how tall of a person you are. And then I just wrap mine with black tape. That'll help you hold your rope up a little bit. So those are the features of the Gatemaker. Remember, when we rope a ground dummy, we want to rope a ground dummy so that we transition into doing it correctly when we get on the horse. We don't want to rope the ground dummy one way and get on the horse and rope a different way. Enjoy your Gatemaker. If you have questions, give us a call.